Okay. What is going on? LBHT Crew B. What is going on?
Panthers coming for you. That's what's going on. You know it. The league knows it. Dallas knows it.
Well, coming for you. You surpassed us.
Well,
You-
no,
you-
no, not. We don't compare ourselves to the Ravens anymore. That's dead. That's done. I'm talking about the rest of the league.
Okay. All right. Well, look, coming off a win. That's a good
Right.
win.
Coming off of 2 wins in 3 weeks.
Now, can you get the elusive winning streak going?
You know, I don't appreciate the negativity right out the gate.
That's
But
not negative.
They are playing at home, which is
That's
where they dominate. Okay.
that's not negative. You get 3 wins, you're starting to heat up because we believe the week after that's a win. So that's why I told you.
Sorry, but
you were kind of overlooking this game as if you chalk it up to a loss. But I'm saying
no, I say
game.
with this schedule that we had, right? I said they were all winnable games, but this is the one that was probably least winnable. Dallas coming up.
Yeah.
Turns out that was New England, so my bad. But we're gonna get this Dallas win. We're gonna get that Jets win, and we're gonna keep it moving.
All right, listen. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio version of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review because we're trying to grow on that side, man. We're getting some more listeners over there. I see the stats. I see the data.
And again, I want to clarify what Jose said. He did not say leave a review. He said leave a 5-star review.
5-star, yes.
If it's not 5 stars, do not leave it. Take that with you.
Just hold on to that. Okay, hold on to that. All right, save it for the next lunch break. All right. Who do we have in the chat? We got Urban in the house. Says, "Yo, LBHT crew, man, I woke up today, left the house until I forgot something in the house, spinning around, looked like Owe attempting to pass rush. Hope everyone is having an amazing day."
Haters everywhere.
We're gonna get to Owe. Man, y'all love kicking a man out the door. All right. Owe didn't do nothing to y'all. He didn't do nothing to y'all. You know, Osmond's in the house. What's going on? Says, "Hey fellas, what's cooking? It certainly ain't EDC fixing his or full defense. At this point, might be a little too late. Too late. Yeah. What else we got in here? We got a guy, Adrian from Press Start 410, says, "Good evening, peoples. Good evening. Thanks for coming through." Jeremiah in the house. What's up, Jeremiah? Kwame is in the house. Is fail. That's a response to our thumbnail I put out. It said fix or fail. He said fail. We get a failing grade. All right. Ravenville's in the house. What's going on, Ravenville? Thanks for coming through. Our producers in the house. Adelia, what's up? Adelia says, hey, everyone. Hit that like button. Everybody listen to Adelia, smartest person in the chat. Okay. Do that for us real quick. Okay. We appreciate it. We got Yolanda in the house. What's going on, Yolanda? Says, good evening, everyone. Yolanda.
How you doing, Yolanda?
Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, I know Owe was your guy. And, look, if you have a little Chargers towel in your drawer, just got tucked away. Just only when he's out there on the field. We understand.
It's tough when the brand takes a hit. I was telling Adelia, I don't know what we're gonna do if they ever do fire DaCosta and Harbaugh. I'm kind of with RG3 on this. He should be the coach until he decides he doesn't want to be anymore.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh man. Davon's in the house. Is hashtag LBHT crew. That's what I'm talking about. Salute to you. Salute to you. He says, "I'm here for the Panthers content. Hashtag keep pounding."
That's
okay.
Right. They all here for the Panthers content, Davon. Don't play football in Baltimore.
Our guy Bazel's in the house. Salute. Says, yo. What's good, Bazel? Appreciate you. Slim is in the house. Salute. We got Zeke Hokage. Says, Jose and Brodny was good, unks and everyone. Thanks for coming through, Zeke. And I think we got everybody. Yes. Yep, we got everybody. We got everybody. We can get started here. Oh, you guys are filling in early. Okay, you want to talk about this trade? You want to talk about do the Ravens have a chance? Listen, we discussed this on the Ravens Roundup on Coach's channel yesterday. Sip to Tally Films. Tracy, what's going on, Tracy? We were waiting for you. I'll filibustering until you got here, Tracy. Now we can start the show. All right. Daniel Franklin, what's good? Says, why do fans think we're trading for Crosby? Not going to happen. All right, we'll talk about it. We had an interesting discussion yesterday on the Ravens Roundup over on Sip to Tally Films. Go check that out. And we'll continue this discussion today. We'll talk about the Panthers' path to victory. Hey, this week, they win this week. I see 3-game winning streak ahead. And then we're talking about a completely different season for the Panthers.
That's right.
All right. So we're going to discuss all that. We have a court of public opinion where,
where Jerry really thinks you stupid.
Yes, Jerry thinks you're stupid.
Like he's done a lot of things in the past to indicate that he thinks the fans and everybody out there, besides Jerry Jones, is an idiot. But none more so than this.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll discuss all that, and we'll get to the overtime show. We have a lot to discuss on the overtime show. So if you're not part of our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow for as little as $5 a month. All right. You can't get anything for $5 anymore. Not even candy bars. I know. I love all types of chocolate bars. Okay. Snickers bars, M&Ms, you name it. And if you get the king size, I hope you saved your money. Okay. So yes, patreon.com/LBHTShow. That's how you become part of it. Overtime show is like I said, it's going to be a lot to discuss on that one. It's going to be a good one. Cookies for $5, Davon. I mean, what cookies, right? If you get them on sale, you can get them. I know you can get. Sometimes you can get, if you're lucky, 2 for $6 on Oreos. Okay, because I gotta get them for Jacob all the time. I gotta get the chocolate filled and the mint filled ones. Okay.
And we did get a cash app from our guy Noah. Thank you very much, Noah. It just says
Salute.
#LBHT crew. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Pay the bill. Salute. Thanks for coming through. All right, Game Too Easy. What's good? I see you in there. Salute. Chaos. I see you. Did I miss anybody? All right, that's everybody. All right, we want to get this show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B and Nicole have a Black History fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, Tim Hector was a transformative figure in Caribbean politics, journalism, and education, known for his fierce advocacy and intellectual depth. Born in Antigua in 1942, he pursued higher education in Canada before returning home, driven by a commitment to challenge colonial legacies and uplift his community. Hector co-founded the Antigua Caribbean Liberation Movement, ACLM, in 1968, a socialist organization that championed regional unity, supported revolutionary movements like Cuba's, and stood firmly against corruption and authoritarian rule in Antigua. His political activism was matched by his fearless journalism. He edited The Outlet, a radical newspaper, and penned the influential column Fan the Flame, which blended cultural critique with sharp political analysis. One of Hector's most enduring contributions came through his legal fight for press freedom. In the landmark case Hector versus Attorney General of Antigua, the Privy Council ruled in favor of free speech, affirming the right to criticize public officials, a decision that reverberated across the Commonwealth. As an educator, Hector inspired generations of students at the Antigua Grammar School, introducing them to revolutionary thinkers and challenging colonial narratives. He was mentored by Trinidadian scholar C.L.R. James and carried forward James's vision of Caribbean self-determination. Beyond politics and education, Hector was a passionate cricket commentator, using the sport as a metaphor for resistance and identity in post-colonial societies. His writings on cricket revealed a deep understanding of its cultural significance in the Caribbean. Tim Hector passed away in 2002, but his legacy lives on in the region's ongoing struggles for justice, freedom, and intellectual independence.
All right, salute to the Black History Fact. What's up, Big Reg? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Noah, I see you in there, and thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Noah.
All right. Look, we had a nice discussion about the game that happened on Sunday with the Ravens, and there were literally no positives to take away from the game. We talked for an hour about different aspects of the game, and we talked about the Owe trade and all that stuff. But at the end, Coach asked each one of us, what are some positives to take away from that game? And pretty much Kerry hit the nail on the head. The only positive is that we got the brakes blown off of us without Lamar in the game, so it can expose how bad the team is. Like, they needed to see how bad that team functions without Lamar, right?
That's not like, we know that they're a carrying defense. They gave Xavier Hutchinson his first 2 career touchdowns. We know that also Derrick Henry, not washed, but maybe not what he seemed last year.
Right.
I don't know if we can put that in the positive column, but that's a takeaway. Hey, positive for y'all haters. It got Owe out of town.
Okay. So, all right. Quick recap of the game. We ain't good without Lamar. We ain't never been good without Lamar during the Lamar era. We can't win. We can't win without him in the game. That's something that we've been trying to tell y'all. But we're all visual people. And we needed to see it firsthand. Now you understand how bad this team is. Now you understand when we say get EDC out of here. EDC hasn't been cooking. That's what we mean.
I mean, cut him some slack. It was the checking my notes here. It was the 1-win Texans that did that to you.
1 win.
But
they scored more points in that game than they had the entire season. CJ Stroud had a career game.
Doubled his passing touchdowns for the year. I wasn't watching this game. Like, I had the Panthers on the TV and I had this game on my phone. Every time I turned back around, the Texans were about to score. Every single time. They gave up points on all but 2 drives. One of those drives, the Texans were not even trying to score. So, I mean, I guess, take your victories where you can. Nick Chubb, he had a resurgence. CJ Stroud, he looked like rookie CJ Stroud. But no, one positive though, like, for real. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter didn't go off like I thought they would.
Boom.
So
there you go. Win for the O-line.
You kind of held them in check.
There you go.
Congrats.
I mean, listen, if you do 3 and outs, they don't have as many chances, right? Keep getting those 3 and outs. Or if I just throw the interception right now.
I know he threw it 20 times, Cooper Rush, and 3 of them were interceptions. So
2 of them were his fault.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, the Bateman one I think is still his fault. It was still a bad pass. He was covered. He was covered well. He just quit.
He wasn't covered. He has got beat.
No, he was covered when he stopped running his route. The corner was right there with him. I don't think that was going to. It may not have been an interception, maybe, but it wasn't going to be completed.
That's on Bateman.
No. I'm not saying it's not, but it's also on Rush. It was also it was a poor decision, and well, I won't say it was a poor throw, but it was a poor decision. He was covered. That wasn't going to be completed. But yeah, probably not an interception, I guess. But I mean, Bateman's real casual. Who's to say he would have fought for the ball even if he kept running?
Listen, we say 50-50 balls. You want to favor the wide receiver in those moments. You want to trust the wide receiver, especially if you think he's a wide receiver one. I had no problem throwing that ball.
Well, it's in context. I have a problem throwing it to Bateman.
Okay,
if that's DeAndre Hopkins, sure, throw it up.
I don't have a problem.
Even if it's Zay, go ahead, throw it up. If it's Rashad, I kind of have a problem with that.
Yeah, but that's on Bateman. And Mark Andrews. I mean,
Mark Andrews bobbled that thing until he located a Houston defender close enough to intercept it.
He said, "Here, sir. Here, this is for you."
That was inspired play from Mark Andrews.
Everything went bad. Even Tyler Luke was missing field goals. We can't kick without Lamar in the game. All right, he sets everything off balance when he's not playing.
Yeah, couldn't run the ball, couldn't pass the ball, couldn't defend, couldn't play special teams. Nothing. It was all bad.
It was all bad. And listen, and we're gonna get to the trades in a minute. We're gonna get to some of the moves that they made in a minute. But the response from the coach, Harbaugh. I don't want to hear about Zach Orr. Stop talking about Zach Orr. All right. He's not the source of the problem is Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because not only did he bring in Zach Orr, who wasn't prepared, he brought in Dean Pease. Right. So Dean Pease wasn't here to help. Dean Pease was here to get his son on the coaching staff. Let's just call it what it is.
And chill.
Okay. He brought in Chuck Pagano to do what? Right.
Dean Pease consulted with John. He said, it would be great if old Chuck was here. Remember old Chuck?
There's a reason why Chuck isn't in the league anymore. He's not good. All right. So, and the rest of that staff has about 4 years of experience or less.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of experience on that coaching staff anywhere. D-line coach, linebackers coach. I think the linebackers coach is Dean Pease's son. I believe so.
He's one of the coaches. I forget the specific position, but yeah, he's on staff.
So, it's so much more than Zach Orr. It's I want to hire all my friends, even if they're not good at their job. And if they're not good at their job, there are no fail safes in place. There are no plan Bs. There's no we can fire this guy and bring this guy in. Because Harbaugh said it after the game. I don't think firing Zach Orr is the answer. Of course it ain't the answer, because if you fire him, who are you replacing him with? Right. Chuck Pagano? Chuck Pagano isn't going to save this defense either.
Chuck Pagano would not take that job. That's not what Chuck Pagano's here for. Chuck Pagano here to cash a check and chill. And not here to coach. He's like, all right, we need an interim DC, and him and Dean are like, don't look over here.
What's going on, Garnett? Thanks for coming through, man. He says, I know I'm late to the party, but are you guys taking late admission to the defund the defense club?
Considering some of your past statements, we got to give you that cover charge, Garnett. It's the $20 tier for you.
Yeah. What's up, man? Thanks for coming through. Yeah, okay. So for people that are new, weren't here when we started that hashtag defund the defense. What we were saying at the time, not now, at the time, that the defense was good enough, and it was.
Yeah.
Defense was good enough. Your defense doesn't have to be great. It has to be good enough. It has to make timely plays, timely stops. Mm-hmm. And they were. Now, take the rest of your money, take the rest of your high draft picks, and focus on the offense, because there's only one superstar on the team, just one, and that's Lamar Jackson. Okay. When Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Halil Nada, Terrell Suggs, when 3 out of those 4 guys were defensive MVPs, the stars are on the defensive side. Okay. You can say, hey, okay, get these guys what they need because they're gonna bring this win home. Okay. That's not the case anymore. And you could look at some players and say, oh, this guy might be that guy one day. This guy could be this. That's a lot of projection. None of those guys have proven to be that guy yet. No. Lamar has. Lamar is 2-time MVP, should have been 3-time MVP. So support him. That's who that anytime we lose a game, that's who you're looking at to to a reason why you didn't win, because you expect him to do amazing things out there. Well, why are you expecting him to do amazing things if you can't get him a true number 1 wide receiver like Pat Mahomes had with Tyreek Hill, like Joe Burrow has with Jamar Chase, like
Andy
whatever Andy Higgins, like whatever quarterback is going to start next week for the Vikings has Justin Jefferson. Like, why don't you ever want to support him with a star player? Why don't you want to give him the protection? So that's where the hashtag comes from. They're last in the league in money spent on the O-line. Wide receivers, they're not too high on the list either. Yes, they've drafted more wide receivers than anybody in the last few years. Like they like pushing that narrative out there, but most of those guys are late round picks or just bad picks, right?
And they like doing that because it's cheap.
Exactly. So
they've missed on all but one of their wide receiver picks. They've drafted more wide receivers than anybody in the league, and they've hit on one, and that's Zay Flowers.
Yeah. So they make a very marginal investment. Even Derrick Henry move was a marginal move, right? They didn't want to trade for him the year before, where we actually could have won the Super Bowl had we made that move. We could have gotten past Kansas City. I feel like we could have beaten the Eagles in the Super Bowl, but you didn't want to do that because you didn't want to give up a 2nd-round pick.
And then you didn't want to pay Saquon Barkley, the guy who actually did carry his team to a Super Bowl win.
Yes. So that's how cheap we want to be on the offensive side. On the defensive side, we'll give up a 2nd-round pick for that middle linebacker. You see Roquan Smith, man? We'll give up that 2nd-round pick, and we'll pay him $100 million. We'll pay $70 million to Marcus Williams. Doesn't matter if he's only going to be here for 2 years. We'll spend 1st-round picks on safeties. Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Says, what up, family? Appreciate you guys kicking facts. Is it safe to say they don't really care for Lamar? I've seen better O-line in arena ball. Wow.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
I've always thought they don't really appreciate the talent that Lamar is. I thought that for years they didn't believe in him as a passer at all. And they've shown repeatedly that they don't value him, and that's why the O-line is in the state that it's in. If this was the first time you had a bad O-line, I could say, okay, maybe they really did believe in Faalele and Voorhees, and it just kind of blew up in their face. Okay, yeah. Maybe that's true, but this isn't the first time you've had a garbage O-line. They went out there when Ronnie Stanley got hurt, and
that's for you, Garnett. He's asking for the Cash App. $sign LBHTShow right there in the corner.
They moved Orlando Brown over to left tackle, and they put Villanueva at right tackle. They had no plan. They had no plan for Marshall Yanda retiring, right? They traded Orlando Brown with no plan to replace him. So yeah, they don't value Lamar the same way that winning franchises value their franchise quarterback.
No, they sure don't. And this question goes right into what we're saying about a hashtag defund defense, right? All the money is spent on the defensive side of the ball. Even the picks this year, when we draft Malachi Starks and Mike Green, and everybody's all hyped up about that because the talent, you see the talent there and you see the potential, but there are 2 obvious holes on the O-line, and that's at guard. And we knew that from last year when even Eric DaCosta admitted they're not good. He said, this year, not so much. Next year, we'll have the O-line that we want. They're projecting. So you're taking guys that you see currently. What's going on, coach? You see guys that you see currently not playing well and saying, well, they'll get better next year. How do you know that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality for the offense, and you just let it ride. And even now, the offensive line is terrible. We're just gonna let it ride. But the defense doesn't play well. Oh, we gotta make changes, man. And now we can get immediately. So hashtag defund the defense. That's what it means. Stop spending all your resources on the defense and not having any expectations for them to win the game when you expect Lamar to win the game. Take those resources, that money and the resources, and put it on the offensive side of the ball and let them bring it home.
Yeah.
Now,
you don't keep putting resources into the defense. And that said, they spent some money and used some trade capital to improve the defense a couple days ago, bringing in C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a guy who's played for multiple teams. You always hear he's a good player, and then immediately following that, but we don't want him back. And it's because he has an attitude problem. Like teams just don't like having him around. And I'm reminded of a player who kind of went off and dominated their game last week, in George Pickens, who has a similar kind of connotation to him, like similar story, where people are like, man, he's a bit of a head case. Don't really want him around. And we're definitely not going to do it because he plays offense. CJ, though, we can bring right in. No problem. No questions asked.
Yeah.
They also went out and they traded Odafe Owe for Alohi Gilman, the safety from the Chargers. I like Gilman. I think he's a yeah. And they traded Odafe and I believe a sixth for sixth or seventh for Gilman and a fifth. I think Gilman's a good player, a good solid player. It says a couple things to me. One, I think they think that Kyle Hamilton might be out for a while. So that's why they brought in two safeties. But two, I think that one, they had no intention of re-signing Odafe Owe, which seems crazy to me. Like, there's talks that they talked about an extension and just didn't get very far last year. I would feel like you would try again. I mean, he's not a worthless player, right? I know the Ravens fans like to zero in on him, but he does have value as an edge rusher. But yeah, they had no intention of re-signing him. And two, they were looking for a scapegoat to kind of turn down the temperature on Harbaugh and Zach Orr for as long as that lasts. They said, hey, we've seen you tweeting about Odafe Owe. We're going to get him up out of here, and we're going to take a victory lap until Sunday when the Rams curb stomp us. But you can be happy about this now. Stop tweeting about John. Stop tweeting about Zach Orr, and tweet about Odafe Owe. And we did get a cash app from Garnett. Thank you very much.
Salute Garnett.
$20 for late administration. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it, Garnett.
and I do just want to say, shame on y'all, okay? Because this is exactly what we said would happen when you made the mistake of drafting Odafe Owe to begin with. We said it was a bad pick. He wasn't the best player available. It wasn't a need. He wasn't going to live up to your expectations. Y'all were like 4-3. We're like, he had 0 sacks, 4-3.
Okay? That's all we heard.
We're going to teach him how to play. 4-3. And what did we say? We said in a few years, we're going to say, Odafe Owe is fine. He's not a great player. It wasn't the right pick, but he's fine. And y'all are going to hate him because he doesn't turn into a 15 sack a year guy. And here we are. That's
exactly what we said, because he was a developmental guy, right? Like, we knew he was going to take some time to develop. By the time he developed, we say, yeah, he's fine, but that's not going to be enough for y'all. He had 10 sacks last year, and people are like, whatever, right? And this year he has no sacks through 5 games, and you're like, get this bum out of here. Me and B were saying before the season that they should bring him back because he'll be a cheaper guy to bring in, and you'll get him for his prime years. Will he be great? No. Solid? Yeah. And you need some solid guys on there that just know the defense, that come up well through a system. They know the team, and they can give you some quality snaps. I don't think what he was doing out there was just hot garbage, you know. And if it
Well,
is, if you
he was
believe that,
33rd
that's a
in
lot.
the league, 33rd in the league in pass rush win rate, which again, it's not great, but it means you're a good secondary rusher, right?
Yes, yes.
He's coming off a 10-sack season. And again, nobody's saying he's some phenomenal player, but you can't have all superstars. Despite what the Ravens keep trying to tell you, they can't all be stars. You have to have players like that. And now you've got like 18 of them at safety. So congrats. They're trying to usher in the era of positionless football. They're
I
just
saw
going to
God's
deploy
favorite in
11
there.
safeties.
What's up, God's favorite? He said that he saw Kyle Hamilton practice today, so he might be back soon. And that's good.
Okay.
That's a good sign. But
Well,
but
then
the
I don't know
reality,
why they brought in 2 safeties. They just love safeties, I guess.
I mean, you know, it's been put out there like, hey, you know, it can help Kyle, you know, play closer to the ball, you know, with 3 safety set or whatever. Then why didn't they sign him before? Why didn't they get a 3rd safety before the season started? Right? Like, the move now tells me that things didn't go well with their roster construction. They thought they thought not Michael Parsons. They thought Malachi Starks. They thought Malachi Starks was going to help out more than he has, right?
Mhm.
And he hasn't. And there's a learning curve there, and that's fine. But that's why we say don't get him, right? That's why you don't see. That's why we say don't draft safeties that high. That's why we said you need to really focus on O-line. They needed 2 guards in this draft, like legit guards that can go in one definitely getting the starting job, the second one pushing for the starting job, and of course they're going to win it because look at the competition. What's going on, Purple Rain Podcast? Oh, what's going on? I think that's Sutton. Salute to Sutton and Alex, man. Go subscribe. Sutton does the Ravens roundup with me, Coach, and Carrie and Chris every Tuesday, 6 p.m. So subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to all of our channels. But you know, I don't like the moves. You know, in fact, Sutton had mentioned that this could be a move to open up some cap room because we saved some money. I think $8 million. I think it opened up $6 to $8 million, and you know, that could be a precursor to another big splash move. Now Sutton thinks it might be on the defensive side, somebody like a Justin Simmons, or you know, somebody that could really make an impact on defense. Now I disagreed with him on the show, saying I don't think anybody on defense can make an impact, but you know, Justin Simmons is an excellent player. You know, Max Crosby has been floated out there. He's been floated out there since last year. Do you think after missing out on Michael Parsons, they would try and go out and make a splash move like that?
I think that right now, with the way that the season is gone, I think they're probably desperate to do anything. I don't think Justin Simmons makes any. Like Justin Simmons was an excellent player. I'm not sure that's still the case. You know, I think there's a reason he's still available, right? Max Crosby, I don't think that they would be willing to move him. You know, having just re-signed him, but you know their season is off the rails as well. So who knows? Maybe you make the call. Like you always call. You never know who's available, so you always call. I didn't think Odafe Owe was available, but you know they got him up out of there. I just I don't really see it. You know, we know that there's a coaching issue. Nobody thought there was a talent issue on this defense prior to the start of the season.
I'm sorry, I said Justin Simmons. I meant Jeffrey Simmons.
Okay, yeah,
Jeffrey Simmons. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That makes more sense. Yeah, no, Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah, he could, but again, is that somebody that they will want to give up? Who knows? You make the call. You always make the call.
Right? Absolutely.
But no, nobody thought there was a talent issue on this team before the season started because there wasn't. Right? You had 5 first-round picks in the secondary. You got Roquan, you know, in the middle of the defense there. Now, obviously, they've had some injuries up front. So, yeah, okay, you can go and try and replace some guys there. But those injuries up front are not why the defense is playing the way it is. They've been playing bad. They've been playing poorly since day one. And, yeah, just bringing in another guy who he's gonna another talented guy, but they're gonna be just a guy on this defense. It'll be one person in the middle of that line, and they're still gonna get bullied up front. They're still going to get run over. They're still going to get torched in the pass game because it is a coaching issue on the defense side of the ball. Now, if you can get a Jeffrey Simmons, if you can get a Max Crosby, you absolutely go do it. Just because those are elite talents, and it's more than a 1 year thing in the NFL, right? We're not playing just for this season, especially when you're about to be 1-5. So you can look to the future with that. But then it becomes this is a question that the Ravens haven't had to ask themselves in a while, right? And it tickles me that they have to ask it now. If they ask for a first round pick, do you do it? Because that pick might be pretty high. Like in the past, it was like, yeah, I don't care about giving up the 25th to 30th for pick in the first round. Who cares? Do it immediately. But now, if it's looking like that pick might be pretty high.
Okay.
Do you still package that up and send it out for someone like a Max Crosby?
That's a great question. I want to ask the chat this too. Max Crosby, Jeffrey Simmons, who are some other guys that are up there that could be available? Can you think of anybody off the top of your head on the defensive side?
Certainly not Derek Brown with the way they've caught fire in Carolina.
Let's see, I don't think Derek Brown's
I mean, listen. Here's I can't think of anybody off the top of my head who might be available right now.
That's okay.
But here's a question for you. Here's another question for you, an alternate question, if you will.
Yeah.
Would you rather give up whatever it's going to cost to get a Simmons, right? Or would you take a chance on going and signing Christian Wilkins, who we also know can play?
I asked that question yesterday. I said, if we're going to get a crash out like CJ Gardner on the team, why don't we just continue this crash out tour and pick up Wilkins, right?
Because insanity is what you need on the defensive side of the ball, a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, but okay, but I want to ask the chat this. Josh Hines-Allen from the Jaguars.
Jaguars are 4-1.
Yeah, they're doing well right now. I don't think they're going to give them up.
You would have to be talking about like a Bradley Chubb out of Miami, who because they're off the rails. Bradley Chubb or one of their other defenders.
But okay. I mean, there aren't elite players aren't easy to come by. So let's switch
from the Jets. Somebody who's not doing well.
We can just go with those two: Jeffrey Simmons, Max Crosby. Chat, are you willing to give up a first round pick? If they say, hey, it takes a first round pick to get this guy, are you willing to give up that first round pick to go and get one of these guys? Just yes or no? That's all I want to know in the chat. Jerry says Dexter Lawrence. Good. Yeah. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is excellent. He's excellent. But for an elite player, right, or close to elite, are you willing to give up a first round pick right now when we're about to be 1-5? Are you willing to?
They're both 28 years old. Just for reference.
All right. IB saying says yep. Wrong answer. TY says yes. F them picks. Wrong answer. Garnett. Ding ding ding. No, I want to protect my quarterback. That is the correct answer.
No. That was the correct answer in February. That's not the correct answer in October. All right. Because guess what? The Max Crosby equivalent of the offensive line is not available. Right. And so you're not going to be able to get that kind of elite talent right now through the trade market on the offensive line. You're going to have that is a next offseason problem at this point.
Nope. I don't agree. We're not going to get Max Crosby equivalent, but we can get better than what we have, and we won't have to give up a first round pick.
We did get a super chat from Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you very much.
Salute.
Appreciate y'all. I'd give up a first for 28-year-old Max Crosby. That is the correct answer because, again, yeah, you might be able to get somebody better, maybe. And I'm not even sure that's the case either because teams do not give up talented O-linemen. They just don't in season. They're too hard to come by, which is why y'all should have spent your offseason fixing your O-line. But they're too hard to come by, and teams do not give them up. Unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstances that are outside of football. But you can spend a first round pick, and it probably wouldn't take a first round pick for Max Crosby since you're going to be picking in the top 10. You can probably talk about second and other picks, and then go into the draft, get a offensive lineman there, or hit free agency and get some starters on the offensive line in the offseason.
Now, no, we're not going to get a super talented offensive lineman. Can we get an all right guy? Yeah, I think so. There's some there. And again, they have to really do the due diligence and go out there and look. But we can get somebody that we can look at and say they're solid. They're not great, but they're solid, and that would be so much better than what we have right now.
Let me ask you this.
What
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No. I'm sorry. Do you trust Eric DeCosta to identify a solid offensive lineman midseason and trade for them?
Well, we'll get that aside. Eric DeCosta should be fired right along with John Harbaugh. We already established that. We don't trust him to. He's not going to give a first round pick. This is a hypothetical, right? He's not getting a first round pick for anybody, right? He probably called about Myles Garrett. They said, "Hey, we need a first round pick," and click, right? He as soon as he heard first round pick, oh, Myles Garrett, he's not gonna work out here. Right player, wrong price. That's what he would say about Myles Garrett. But a solid guard on the younger side. Again, solid, not great, right? Solid. Pick that up, and you still need to go and get O-line in the offseason. If we're picking in the top 10, that needs to go towards a tackle, right? Or a tackle that or a guard that can become a tackle down the road. Because listen, man, how much longer are we going to hold on to what's his name?
Ron Stanley.
Yeah, how much longer does he want to play? I mean, he's had a few injuries. I don't know. I still think he's a good tackle. He hasn't had a great year this year. Nobody has on the O-line, but I think he's still good. How much longer is he going to hold up? I don't know. But they need to get a tackle now, right? So the offseason needs to be focused on O-line. I think they need to get 3 O-linemen that could start.
There's the other thing for you. Does trading for a guard right now even fix your O-line? They're all playing poorly. So
I mean,
if we're saying, hey, let's get a middling guard, because that's what it'll be most likely if you're able to make a trade for an offensive lineman versus an elite edge rusher or an elite interior D lineman, and then fix the O-line in the offseason, which is what you're going to have to do anyway.
Because yes, get the middling guard now, because no, they're not playing great, but you can't have guys out there that don't even know how to like they don't even know how to make contact with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even know how to make contact with somebody. You can't be that lost.
Listen, y'all can't keep doing this to Daniel. All right, if he stands still, y'all get mad. If he runs and he hits the wrong person, y'all get mad. If he runs around and he doesn't hit anybody, y'all get mad. What do you want him to do? What you want him to do, Jose?
At some point, you have to sacrifice the talent for necessity. You have to sacrifice talent on the defense for necessity on the offense, especially when you have somebody like Eric DeCosta that is clear as day. He don't know how to build an O-line, right? He can't identify that player later in the draft. So yes, it's easy to say get Max Crosby now, spend a first round pick. We can get a O-lineman in the second round. No, teams can get O-lineman in the second round, not this team. Yeah. We can't get an O-lineman in the second. We damn sure can get one in the third, fourth rounds, right?
Let's say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying. So like we have to increase our chances of that player working out by drafting higher. That's why they have the high draft picks, are worth more typically, because people have done the scouting for you. You already understand who the top players are, what they're projected to be. Go and get somebody that has a chance to really stand out on the O-line in the draft.
Okay. What if I said to you, excuse me, you can package your second round pick plus whatever else it takes, whether it's a player, some later picks, future picks, whatever it is. But the centerpiece being your second round pick, and you can get Max Crosby, okay, and you can plug him right in at edge rusher, elite edge rusher for the next 5-6 years, let's say, and you pull Lamar Jackson aside and you say, you know what? Why don't you take the rest of the year off? And that lands you in the top 5, and you pick your franchise left tackle next April.
I ain't mad at that.
There you go.
I ain't mad at that.
And honestly, and I want to see if they're able to win another game without Lamar Jackson. So that satisfies me on the entertainment end for the rest of the season.
You know why I'm not mad at that? Like, some people don't like the word tanking. Listen, you gotta know when to tank. You gotta know when to tank. This would completely clean house. Everybody would be fired, including Eric DaCosta. If Lamar didn't take another snap and we end up winning like 2 more games the rest of the season, everybody is toast.
Yeah.
Right. But if he's able to get Max Crosby on his way out, that'll be the one defining moment in his career as a GM. And the next regime that comes in will be they'll be cooking. They'll really be cooking, right? Because they have talent already. They have somebody like Max Crosby on the team already. You got Kyle Hamilton just signed already. Like, you have a lot of talent on that side, and they can come in and say, we ain't got to touch that. All we got to do is just fix this O-line, right? We got like you said, top 10 pick, top 5 pick. Let's get this franchise tackle, and then we'll work on getting some guards, some free agent guards or whatever. We're going to fix this O-line, and we're going to build a wall around Lamar Jackson. All that can happen in one offseason, and we can come out on fire next year.
Yeah. The other way is also possible. You can, get on the phone with, there are many terrible GMs in the NFL. So get on the phone with a bad one and say, hey, here's my second round pick plus whatever else. Give us a good starting tackle or good starting guard. And then, listen, then when you're picking in the top 5, maybe you get yourself a little Ruben Bain action out of Miami. Okay. Because the defense is always just that one player away.
Well,
and Ruben Bain is the guy.
But that's what I was saying before. Like, even now, even though it's hard to get talented O-linemen, you can always find somebody to deal with, right? If you make an enticing enough offer, if we can do that in season, and don't have to give up a first round pick, I still want that first round pick to be an offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. Right. Like, I want to do, yeah. I want to have the best O-line in the league, like Philly had or has.
But right? I feel like the way to do that's not necessarily through the draft. You want to, because
partially, I think
partially, sure, but you draft guys and they can take years to develop, and you never know what you're going to get there, and it's about timing, a lot of it, right? I prefer getting veteran O-linemen, but no, for sure. If you're picking there and there's a guy available, go with that guy. I'm not sure that there is a tackle available or a tackle who's worth taking that high in this class.
I don't know.
I do know that Ruben Bain is not one of your Malachi Starks, one of your Michael Greens. Ruben Bain is somebody who's going to come in and wreck shop from day one.
Me saying that as a U fan, okay. But
I don't know why I don't even know why you would have to put that out there. That's not relevant. It's just the fact that he is a dominant player.
But Ruben Bain looks like the real deal. He looks excellent. So
y'all know you're gonna draft Caleb Downs if you pick him that high, though. That's safety.
That's who that is. I see people putting that name in there. I was like, who's Caleb Downs? Like,
he's the top safety in the country. Some people argue he's the top player in the country. But you want to play 3 safeties. That's your boy.
All right, real quick, because we spent a lot more time on this than I was planning to. The Rams game. All right, is that
top passer in the league, top wide receiver in the league? No bueno para los Ravens.
So put in the chat I want percentages. What percentage are we giving the Ravens to win the game? Okay, I understand it's going to be low, but I just want to see what percentages do you give now? And I want to keep. I just want to remind you guys. Because you guys may not have seen what happened with the Rams last week. They lost to the 49ers at home. The 49ers have more injuries on their roster than the Baltimore Ravens do. I think it's a total of like 19 or 20 injuries. To include
top 3 wide receivers, their starting quarterback, their all-world tight end, the arguably, a top 3 defensive player in the league in Nick Bosa. They lost, another guy that's right there in the top 3, Yatir Gross-Matos in game. And we got people saying here 10% blowout, 50 burger, 1 in 5, 8%, 0%. Not a lot of -1%, not a lot of positivity going on in the chat right now. Y'all used to call us negative. I would never give a team -1% chance to win a game. It's not even possible.
I was gonna say that too. Before to get off track real quick, like people call us negative, right? Not necessarily people in this chat, but people call us negative when we say we don't like something. We don't like the Malachi Starks pick. We didn't like the Nate Wiggins pick. We're saying, man, why aren't you picking O-line higher there? Why aren't you focusing on offense? Why don't you go on wide receiver? We don't like those picks. Oh, you guys are so negative. I've seen people say that. Oh, I used to watch them, but they're so negative, right? But when it gets to here, when it gets to this point, and we're talking about Owe, and me and B are like, Owe's fine. He's fine. We like him. He could stay. Like, he's not going to get a huge contract. He's fine. And you guys want to ship him out. You want to ship Ojabo out, and you want to deport all Nigerians because of your experience with Owe and Ojabo, right?
Ojabo, who's literally done nothing, mind you.
He's done nothing to you, right? And you guys just, you guys are like, hello, Ice. Hello. I got you more over here.
All you have to do is open up a notebook, grab a pen, and write down whatever it is you feel about Odafe Owe and replace the name with Mike Green, because that's what you can be saying in 3 years about him.
I don't want to say it, but I mean, look, I felt, just weeks ago, I said, I know Mike Green is going to be that guy, right? And looking back on it, I probably should have not said that, because every time I said, I know somebody's going to be that guy, they are the opposite of that. What draft was that when I was like, man, you can get Solomon Thomas, you can get
it was like 8 edge rushers in the first round, and they were all trash.
I was like, you can't miss. You can get any one of them. You can't miss.
The only good one was Myles Garrett at number 1, and he ended up a Brown.
Taco Charlton
hasn't affected the league a day since playing in Cleveland. Yeah, Taco Charlton, who some people. Maybe some people in this very chat tried to compare to Julius Peppers.
I don't even recall that.
Yeah,
Taco Charlton. He didn't say that about Taco Charlton.
Well, no. That wasn't him. That was somebody else. But it was there were people on. I hate to say it, but the Panthers forum who looked at his measurables, not his athletic score, mind you, just his height and weight, and said that's Julius Peppers.
You're off the hook, Garnett. I already got you off the hook. That was mistaken identity. He's talking about somebody else.
No, but he said that about Owe.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't know any Owe around here. There's no Owe here. You see any Owe? I don't see any Owe. All right. Yes, Garnett. We were called madmen. Listen, we much rather be wrong about our about players on our team than right when it comes to not liking somebody, right? Yeah. Those are things that we're glad to say, hey, we got it wrong on this person, but man, we've been right on a lot of these moves, and it's just because, listen, man, we are all blinded by being fans sometimes, right? And you want to believe that your organization knows what they're doing and the players that they get are going to work out, but man, you got to call it how you see it sometimes. You know damn well getting Malachi Starks was the wrong move. You know the O-line sucks. You saw them play, right? You saw them not bringing in any competition. What in the world made you think Voorhees could play? Absolutely nothing, right? You have to at least be somewhat concerned that, man, are you sure he can? Are you sure? Because you haven't actually watched him. You know what I mean? He hasn't gotten that many reps. He hasn't taken that many snaps. Are we sure he can block? If you're not a little bit concerned by that, not a high draft pick either. It wasn't like he was a first round draft pick, 7th round. So how can you trust that? Right? How can you sit there and say our 7th round pick, who was hurt often in college, last time he played was in, I don't know, 2022 or something like that. He's going to work out fine because they say they want to start him. But if we say we don't need to draft Malachi Starks, we got Sanusi Kane. Right? We got Bo Braid. Right? You guys don't want to hear that. It's got to be first round.
Turns out you can pick up CJ Gardner-Johnson off the street anytime.
Yeah.
So it's times like this that I want to thank the Panthers organization for being so incompetent for their entire history, because it taught me not to just believe what the organizations do, not to believe in the moves they make, because a lot of times the moves are bad. You know, I mean, you think I don't want Xavier Legette to be better at football than he is?
We're going to segue to them in just 1 second, but just to wrap this up. So you guys are not giving the Ravens any chance in this game, even though the 49ers went into LA with all backups and Mac Jones, Kendrick Bourne,
McCorkle Jones beat this team, and y'all are like, Cooper Rush ain't got no chance.
I'm just saying, like, so even with all that, you don't believe that Harbaugh, who's feeling the pressure, who usually does his best coaching when his back's against the wall, may not have something schemed up. And this is at home, I believe, right? This is at home for us. He don't have anything schemed up for this Rams team. We can't handle business. Yeah, it's Cooper Rush, but we got Derrick Henry.
There is this.
I mean, don't worry about that. Don't worry.
Stop with your facts, Danity.
Yeah. Don't worry. Coaching staff. That's another thing that we said too. That people, some people didn't like when we said it. That John Harbaugh was just he was just what's his name? McCarthy. He was just McCarthy wearing purple. All right, Mike McCarthy. If you pull up Mike McCarthy and you pull up John Harbaugh, you pull up their numbers, just do a blind comparison. They're the same people. In fact, I think so. They've both coached the same amount of years. Although this year Mike McCarthy isn't coaching, Harbaugh is. But I think Mike McCarthy still has more wins than Harbaugh by just like a handful of regular season wins. They both have Super Bowl wins. They have about the same amount of playoff wins. They're the same person.
We did get a cash app from Adrian. Thank you very much. It says, let's talk about XL being Xavier Legette. Ravens are buns right now. Yeah, well, hey, listen, let me introduce you to Xavier Legette. Okay.
Okay. So quick score prediction, then we'll go over to the Panthers, how they can get this win streak going.
The fact that everyone in Raven Nation, Flock Nation, is saying that they have no chance makes me want to pick Baltimore. So I am going to go Baltimore 17, Rams 38.
Oh, yeah, because we scored 10 last time. Yeah. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm gonna say we're gonna get 20 points up there. I think that first drive we score because we're gonna come out on fire, right? And we might even score a second, like second or third drive after they score their touchdowns, of course. And then second half is when they really pull it away. And I think they get another 40 burger scored on us. I think it's gonna be like 41 to 20.
Damn, Osmond. He said, do they keep scoring practice games? It's not nice. It's Not nice at all, man.
103 Rams. That will get everybody fired immediately.
Goodness. Zero faith in y'all's team. Do you think
okay,
we see Tyler Huntley this week?
That's too harsh. Not 41 points. They don't keep it under 40.
See? That's why I said
that's why they brought CJ Gardner here to bring the attitude to keep it under 40. All right, I'm going to say 34 to 20. You said, what did you ask?
Do you think you see Tyler Huntley this week?
I think Cooper Rush played that bad.
He did, though.
I don't think he played that bad. I think it doesn't matter who you bring in. That O-line isn't going to allow anybody to do anything.
I'll tell you what, he's a bit more athletic than your boy Cooper. All right, maybe he can make some plays when the O-line breaks down. I think he probably doesn't get in though. No. Unless Byron Young has something to say about it.
Kwame B says 3 picks. I'll take Huntley. What do you think Huntley gonna do out there?
Yeah, Huntley's not good at quarterback. Kwame.
Go, man. This is the wrong time, brother. This is the wrong time. Says y'all keep believing in Matt Stafford.
Listen, go, man. We were on the Matt Stafford is a loser train for years. The man won the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know what you wanted. What we're doing right now.
I mean, we're talking about Cooper Rush versus Tyler Huntley. Who should start? I mean, we're down bad. Go, man. We are down bad right now.
Smashed by a dude who had 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the season. Absolutely smashed by that dude.
Matt Stafford is definitely going to get his numbers up in this game.
Whomst among you is going to hold Puka Nacua?
And Devontae Adams. It's funny how we don't even talk about Devontae Adams.
That's how good Puka Nacua is, right? That's how good their receivers are. And then you got a pissed off Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. They both had bad games last week. CJ
ain't got nothing for this team.
It ain't got nothing to do with believing in Matt Stafford, go, man. You keep believing in John Harbaugh, though. You do you.
All right, look. We got 100 people in here. Smash that like button. If you're new in here, hit the subscribe button. We're going to do the overtime show after this show. You want to be a part of that? We have a couple of serious stories. A weird story, that Mark Sanchez story. That took a strange turn. And we're going to talk about Kyron Lacy. If you look at the thumbnail for our Patreon members, that player that's on the screen, he's Kyron Lacy passed away right before the draft. This year. Sad story. It involved him getting arrested. He was charged for was it murder or
I can't remember. He was being charged. I want to say it was vehicular homicide, but I'm not 100% sure if that was the charge. But it was bad, and he was wrongfully charged. And the police just set about the business of trying to pin it on him, regardless of what the evidence said.
So we're going to discuss that on the overtime show. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is how you can do that.
And then maybe also an NCAA story, and then maybe if there's also time, a slavery story.
Oh, okay. All right.
I should walk that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not a slavery story, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's connected. Okay.
It's connected. Yes. Yeah. Which is yes, we'll talk about that too. In a video game.
Just a baffling NCAA story. Just a terrible idea.
And right on time.
There he is.
Right on time. There's Shug. So slavery, bet.
I'd be saying you too.
And look, before anybody gets on Shug, all right, he's one of us. He's our brother. All right, that's Shug right there. All right, y'all leave Shug alone. All right, let's go over. Let's talk about some Panthers. First of all, the Panthers. They made the game interesting, but they fought. They didn't quit. They were down. It was a 17-0 at one point, right?
Yes, they were 17-0.
and they fought their way back, and they got that win. Even at the end, I thought at the end when they gave that touchdown to Jalen Waddle, that was
It
it.
wasn't looking great. But yeah, they started the game off in typical Panthers fashion. They allowed a touchdown. Um, the response drive was actually looking pretty good. They were looking good. Actually, I think they gave up the field goal first, and then they were driving down the field, and I was like, okay, they came to play today. Miami's not devoid of talent by any stretch of the imagination, even without Tyreek. So I expected them to put up some points. But Carolina's driving right down the field, and then Bryce Young, I don't know if he got like his times mixed up and he thought he was at the Kyle Bowler impersonation contest at that moment, but he dropped back and he just dropped the ball. Nobody hit him.
Yeah.
Nobody was really near him. He just dropped it. Miami picked it up. They scored. Then they come back and immediately he overthrows Xavier Legette for an interception. Although I still want to see the replay on that. I feel like Xavier could have got on the ladder and gotten that one, or at least knocked it down. But whatever. It was a bad pass. Intercepted. Down 17-0, and then they said, "Cool. Pressure's off. No expectations. Now let's play." And they did. They played well the rest of the game. Rico Dowdle went for over 200 yards rushing since Chuba Hubbard was out and he had to carry the load on offense. Xavier Legette made a phenomenal touchdown catch. I mean, it was a great catch. Not going to take anything away from him on that. The defense stopped Miami like 4 or 5 times in a row to keep Carolina in the game. And late in the fourth, Carolina went down the field. They scored a touchdown. They took the lead. And then they immediately blew a coverage and gave up a touchdown to Jalen Waddle. And I was like, good Lord. How? Like, why did you even fight all game?
Immediately.
But they left too much time.
Yes.
Bryce. Okay.
Yeah.
And Bryce Young drove him down the field. And unfortunately, he did throw it to a Notre Dame tight end. But that Notre Dame tight end did get in the end zone. They got the go-ahead touchdown, and that was it. They got their second win of the season, second win at home. They're undefeated at home, 2-3 on the year. So it was a feel-good weekend.
And Jimmy Horn Jr. made a clutch catch.
He made a couple of nice plays. He got, I think, 4 touches and ended up with 30 to 40 yards. Tetaroa had 6 or 7 catches for close to 70 yards as well. So it was a group effort. And the offense as a whole looked better. And again, it's just a matter of, and this is the case with a lot of bad teams, you have to stop shooting yourself in the foot.
Well,
that's what Carolina's been doing.
Listen. The touchdown they gave up to Jalen Waddle, that was bad. But they also left time on the clock for Miami to respond. And the defense held up and stopped them. And that's what we've been asking for the Ravens, right? Like as much money as we spend on that side of the ball, the bar is low for the Ravens. Like, hey, we just put up 40 points. Can you not give up 41 points? No, okay.
No. How about you don't fumble?
The Panthers responded. Their quarterback marched down the field, got them back ahead, and they said, "All right, we're not going to blow coverage this time around. We're going to get them off the field." That's all you can ask for. Right. And you're going to see that from this Panthers team. Some weeks it's going to look bad. Some weeks it's going to look like this. Some weeks it'll look like this against very good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think they're rounding into form. I think they're figuring out who they are on offense. The defense is not very talented, but they're playing very, very hard every week. And they're playing better, and that's really all you can ask for a young team that's not particularly talented, and with a young head coach as well. Like Dave Canales is, he's a first-time head coach. He's figuring things out, but very proud of the effort they put in against Miami. They've got Dallas this week coming into Carolina, which again, undefeated at home. So I think we're gonna hang up another W there, be 3-0 at home, and then whatever the record is on the road, I'm not sure. But
so you feel good about this game?
I do. If CeeDee Lamb were playing, I would feel less good, but he's not. So I feel great. Jordan Pickens is good. Listen,
they can go to points.
Listen, I want to hear it. All right. George Pickens is good. He is very, very good. Extremely talented player. And Dak, listen, despite all the flack that he gets, Dak is a great player. Dak is a great quarterback. He just has 10% of the time where he forgets that, and it's usually in the playoffs. But Dak is a great player. But we've got J.C. Horn, and we paid him, and y'all told me he's a top corner, so you better erase George Pickens. I'm not even saying under 30 yards, something like that, something ridiculous like that. He better not be a game wrecker this week. You better hold him in check if you're that guy. You know?
Yeah, I tell you what, man, it's a good week to be playing Dallas, and no Michael Parsons is on the team anymore.
Pickens is not a bust. No,
a
sir.
Bust?
No, sir, he is not.
No.
But yeah, no, it's revenge game for Rico Dowdle. And he kind of called out Dallas a little bit. You know, I mean, I think it was pretty lighthearted because he played for them last year. He was over 1,000 yards for him. But he said, "Hey, try and stop me." And you know, normally I would be like, "You play for the Panthers, don't do that." But they can't stop the run of Dallas.
And Chuba Hubbard's coming back this week, right?
Potentially. He is not practicing, but he's been out there kind of working to the side by himself. So we'll have to see. I think it's probably more likely that he doesn't play this week, that they hold him out, and then it's Dowdle and Etienne and DJ Dallas again. But Dowdle is a starting running back. You know, he was 1,000-yard back last season. He went for 200 yards last week. So like, he's shown that he can carry the load. So if Chuba can't go, they're going to be fine with Rico.
Yeah. Kwame B says bust is Bryce Young. He's not a bust either. He's not a bust. He's playing good football right now.
Come on, Kwame. Don't do that.
He's playing good football.
Busted.
No.
Like, how would you feel if I came in here and said Mike Green is a bust and Malachi Starks is a bust just because they haven't done anything yet?
Or Nate Wiggins.
How do receivers get so loose in your secondary with all those great players? Wild, because like it can't be 100% coaching, right? Like he has eyes. All of them have eyes.
Yeah,
they can see the people they're supposed to be covering, right? They can tell. They have spatial awareness. They know when they're not next to their assignment, right?
Hey, you know,
Carolina thing. Players that can see
if they can get this win. Like I said, because who did they play the week after? The Jets. Just look bad.
And I love Justin Fields, you know, and I do want Aaron Glenn to get his first win as a head coach.
Yeah,
it's going to have to be this week, big dog.
Yeah, for sure.
If they're even playing this week, I don't know.
So you got teams like the Panthers. They're not there yet. You got to take one game at a time, 1 week at a time. But if they can get a 3-game win streak going, even if they win 2 out of these 3. Now we're looking at really competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, do you make a move? Do you make a move before the trade deadline to get better?
You know, it obviously depends what's out there. They opened the 21-day window for Jalen Coker to come off IR. So, you know, hopefully he'll be out there playing soon, and they can see what the offense looks like with their full complement of receivers. Because I think Jimmy Horn is going to be active from this point forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, having Teteroa, you know, Jalen, Xavier, and Jimmy out there along with Hunter Renfrow, we can kind of see what that looks like. On the O-line, you know, I think they're in the same boat as Baltimore. Like, they lost a couple of starting O-linemen, and that's just going to be really, really, really tough to try to replace. On the defensive side, they were injured on the D-line at edge. Their 2 edge rushers with experience, DJ Wanham and Pat Jones, were both out. When they're back, that group looks a lot better. With the 2 young guys, and the interior D-line has been good. If there's one spot that I would say call around on, it's going to be linebacker, because it can't be Trevin Wallace, Christian Roseboom. It just cannot. Listen, I take Roquan from y'all. Like, I'll toss you a 6 for Roquan. But they need to call around and see if they can improve that spot. That actually shouldn't be that difficult. There are a lot of quality linebackers in the league, and they don't need they don't need a superstar there. I mean, I'm not talking about going and getting somebody who can run with Darren Waller in them, but just somebody who can tackle people and, you know, maybe not get beat by every tight end in the league. So I think if they continue to on this upward trajectory, I would call around and try to get a linebacker to plug in there and really solidify the defense a bit.
Gomez says, y'all know y'all would love a couple of Ravens players on the Panthers. Imagine Mark Andrews or Justice Hill.
Well, okay, here's the thing, Gomez. Justice Hill doesn't have any place in Carolina. They're very good at running back. They've got 2,000-yard rushers there. They just drafted a guy in Etienne, and I like Justice Hill a lot. I think he's a quality player.
But he's not better than those guys.
No, Mark Andrews. I said in the offseason they should call out Mark Andrews, but that was in the offseason. Mark Andrews is washed. No thank you. You keep that. But listen,
B withdrew his bid.
Yeah, that withdrawal offer. But you're still right. There are players I'd like to have from Baltimore. I said, hey, call them about Tyler Wallace, Tez Walker. You know, one of those guys.
You said Roquan.
Yeah,
we take Roquan now.
Sort of. Y'all are giving up on Trenton Simpson. I take Trenton Simpson. You know, just see what he can do.
Listen, post fun of you guys about, you know, the Panthers being better than the Ravens, but the reality is we're in two different places right now. The Panthers are trying to rebuild, right? Yeah. The Ravens are. This is supposed to be the window. Yes. Things are falling apart right now, so the expectation is different. So of course we're going to talk about the teams differently, right? We're not expecting the Panthers to win a Super Bowl. B has never came out here and said Panthers are going to win a Super Bowl this year. You know, not seriously anyway. But
I did, however, say, and I meant it, that Bryce Young is going to the Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Now, that
how he gets there
depends on like how it goes the rest of the season. That may be as a backup on another team. I don't know, but he's going to go before Lamar because y'all are too stubborn to fix your team.
But yeah, the expectation is different. So yeah, we all know the Ravens have talent on the team. We all know that. That's why it's so disappointing that they're playing the way that they play, and that's why we keep saying how, you know, what's going on with that team. Heads got to roll, right? There's no other way to say it. Suge says the spoiled Ravens fans think they will win every year. Listen, this is coming from a Steelers fan who thinks they can win with Kenny Pickett at quarterback. All right,
Kenny Pickett fooled us all. But Suge is a Ravens fan. He's not a Steelers fan.
No matter who's playing quarterback for the Steelers, they will tell you, yeah, we can win with him. Yeah,
that is true.
Jared Green's in the house. Salute, Jared.
What's up,
Appreciate
Jared?
you coming through. Just I never said small hands could win. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Because I said it right along with you. We said that we were impressed with how he was playing in the preseason, and we thought he was going to be good and they were going to win. It didn't happen like that.
Paulo says Baltimore has to have the most safeties in the league. Yeah. Well, then we like our safeties. All right. So score prediction for this Panthers game.
I think that the offense kind of comes alive a bit this week. And I think it's a fairly high scoring game. Carolina wins 31-28.
Oh, I was going to say something like that. I'm the same score. Yep. You know what? I have more faith in them. I'm going to say 34. I'm saying 34-28. Now
I was going to say, you ever heard of that game Shark Dentist? Because like you're the protagonist in that right now.
Whatever.
That's how you. If you have not heard of Shark Dentist, go on Steam and type in Shark Dentist and watch that trailer and tell me it's not the most ridiculous game you've ever seen.
All right. Let's do court of public opinion. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. We want to finish this up soon so we can get to the overtime show. And you want to join us for this one. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is how you do that. For as little as $5 a month, You get access to the Overtime Show. You get access to our Discord channel. If you want to spend a little bit more money, you can get a nice little coin. I don't have them right here. I got mine packed up right now. My studio is under construction right now. So, but yes, go check it out. Ken for OT. What are you talking about, Suge?
What? Ken with for OT. I don't know, Suge.
Yeah,
unstroke yourself and try that again.
Can't wait for the OT. That's what he's saying.
There we go.
Okay. All right. This is gonna be a quick one. What do we have for a core public opinion?
Well, we have one of the world's worst people, Jerry Jones, who after the game or at the game this week, he got in his feelings a little bit and he gave some people the finger. And then he got called out about it because you can't do that if you're representing the NFL. You're one of the owners of in the league, owning the Dallas Cowboys, and you're always on TV and everybody's always talking about what you do. He said, "Oh man, that was an accident. I was trying to stick up my index finger." What? You don't know? Like you forgot how to control your individual fingers for a minute?
Right.
I don't understand it. And again, like I said at the top of the show, that explanation is not, man, I think that this is a good explanation. They'll buy it and I'll get out of this. That explanation is, y'all are idiots and I don't have to put any more thought into this than, whoops, it was an accident.
Yeah. I just realized too, we didn't put up any of the next gen stats for the game. But you know what? That's okay. It's just how the show went. That's just how the show went. Adelia shaking her head at us saying you can't stay on script for nothing.
It's not okay. All right. Because Adelia went and got those for us, and we were supposed to use them.
We'll circle back. We'll circle back to it. We'll circle back to it. But I just want to remind people, if you think you could trust Jerry Jones, this is the guy that we're talking about right here. The guy standing behind Biff. Okay, three aisles back. That's bullying the black students that are trying to get go to class. Okay, he's saying, "Get him, Biff, get him."
And this is again at a high school, and the dude in front got a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, cigarette in his mouth. Yep.
And
look at the guy standing right next to him, like, yeah.
And Jerry's in the back, like, "Oh, I just wandered over to see what was going on. I went all the way around. I didn't see anything at the front. I didn't notice that it was all the blacks out there, and then some angry whites on the other side. I just came up from the back." Like, what are you talking about, Jerry? He thinks people are stupid.
He does, but most billionaires do think you're stupid.
Yeah.
Right. They think because they have sheltered themselves, right, cut themselves off from all sense of reality because they can create their own world. They have so much money, and no matter what they say and do, they have yes people around them 24/7 saying, "Yep, great idea. Oh, yep, you're right. Yep, absolutely, yes, you're right." So when they have to answer to the media and they make up some ridiculous story, they still have yes people telling them, "Oh, yep, sounds good, great answer, great answer." The rest of us are sitting there looking at them like, "That was stupid," but they don't care about our opinions, and that's what Jerry did. Jerry said, "I'm gonna flip the bird to these fans, and I'm gonna tell you, don't believe your lying eyes. I was trying to give you the thumbs up."
You know what Jerry's problem is, honestly, and I hate to say this because it's not going to sound very nice, but Jerry is used to winning. He remembers those good old days when they won
many decades ago,
multiple Super Bowls, and he was the architect. And now, despite the we'll call them facial reconstructive surgeries that he's had, he looks in the mirror and he says, "You know what, man? The Reaper coming for me, and I don't know if I'm going to get another Lombardi before he gets here," and it's driving him a little insane.
Right,
okay?
Right.
He's getting a little erratic because he thinks time's running out, and
Jerry
Well,
has he looks like that person like, yo, he's like, I made a deal with the devil, but did he scam me? Did I get scammed?
he's like, is he gonna collect?
Did he say my money's no good anymore? Like he looked at my soul and said, "Ugh, brother, ugh."
I mean, no, but I think that it really is something like that. He's getting not necessarily paranoid, but yeah, he knows he doesn't have a whole lot of time left, and he's saying, "Man, got to get this team back to winning before I'm gone," and it ain't going in the right direction.
I gotta get back to winning, but my way,
The Jarrah
okay,
way.
the Jarrah way, okay.
I
Not
will.
by paying Mike Parsons.
I will always give Jerry Jones credit for one thing: the greatest sales advice I ever heard. That you said, there's 5 things that I learned about being a salesman. First, ask for the money, and I forgot the other 4. The greatest sales advice of all time.
Yeah. Facts. But that being said, he's guilty. He's guilty.
Yeah,
he's
very
done.
guilty.
He's over. Okay?
He's guilty. He's he's any ist that you can think of. Jerry is it. You remember the picture he had of those 2 young women, and they just kind of the NFL just kind of blew that off too.
Yeah.
Like every ist that you can think of is Jerry.
Yeah.
He is not a good person
At all.
Great salesman. Great salesman.
Yes. Okay. You know what? Adelia brought these up, and we're gonna go over them. Okay, we're gonna go over them real quick. Rapid fire. Let's go. I did the first one for you, Adelia. Zay Flowers
to 2 hours. Zay Flowers has caught 10 passes on 13 targets for 205 yards when facing blitz this season, the second most in the league. In week 5, Cooper Rush targeted Flowers on 1 of his 5 attempts against the blitz for 56 yards. Since entering the NFL in 2023, Flowers has caught 1,031 yards against the blitz, the 4th most over that span. That's because he's a little joystick. You know, he gets the ball, and then you don't have any idea where he's going to go.
Yeah.
He's very tough to bring down after the catch.
Here's the next one. Let's go. Ravens defense.
Despite the litany of injuries faced by the Ravens secondary, the Ravens defense has deployed man coverage on over 37% of opponent dropbacks in each of the past 3 weeks. Overall, they have used man coverage on 38.9% of opponent dropbacks this season, the 6th highest rate in the NFL. They have allowed a league-high 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, when playing man coverage, after allowing 15 such touchdowns all last season with 5 interceptions.
Now, didn't Harbaugh say something about playing more man coverage?
I don't know, but that would track.
You should probably stop that. Okay, what else we got here? What do we got?
Marlon Humphrey and Jair Alexander. 6 different Ravens defenders have allowed at least 100. Goddamn. Have allowed at least 100 yards and a touchdown in coverage this season, most in the NFL. Among those players are Marlon Humphrey and Jair Alexander, who have combined to allow 20 receptions, 332 yards, and 2 touchdowns across 24 targets while recording just a single pass defense. Jair has he even played since week 1? Good Lord, Jair.
He played last week, and he was saying how he didn't know who had the green dot.
Yeah, I know, but like he's been sitting so long to be on this list. Is that the last one? Okay, we got Tutu Atwell. Yeah, he's another one. We didn't even mention him versus the Ravens defense. Tutu Atwell has caught 2 of 3 deep targets, 20-plus air yards, for 126 yards and a touchdown during the 4th quarter and overtime of games this season, the most in the NFL. He has recorded just a single deep reception for 34 yards across 2 targets through the first 3 quarters of games. The Ravens are one of 7 defenses to have allowed more than 100 deep receiving yards during the 4th quarter and overtime of games this season, 108 yards. Wow. The Ravens offense versus the Rams defense. The Ravens offense have used 12 personnel, which is 1 running back and 2 tight ends, on 55.2% of their designed runs as a team this season, the 2nd highest rate in the NFL. They have averaged 6.2 yards per carry on designed runs out of 12 personnel, 3rd most in the NFL. The Rams defense has faced just 12 designed runs out of 12 personnel this season, tied with the Colts for the fewest in the NFL. They allowed just 29 yards across those 12 carries, translating to 2.4 yards per carry and a league low 16.7% success rate allowed. So that thing that Baltimore's really good at, that they don't do very often, the Rams are nearly the best in the league at stopping. So good luck, Baltimore.
But they're also not challenged as much.
Yeah,
so.
but that's because people can't do it against them. I mean,
yeah.
And then the rest of those just said Rams by 60, pretty much. If we just wanted to kind of summarize those insights really quickly, Rams win by a lot.
This is all bad. This is all bad. Danny says Rams 50-2. All right, let's do some more questions again.
How y'all gonna get a safety, Danny? Explain that one.
I don't know. A mishandled snap or something. I don't know.
We have one submitted question from our guy Eric L. Thank you very much, Eric.
Salute.
He says, let me pull it back up here. He says, if the Ravens don't go their separate ways, that's fire. Coach Harbaugh this offseason, whether they make the playoffs or not, what do you think Mr. Jackson might do this offseason? Ask for a trade, restructure his current contract, or sign a new extension? Have a most excellent show. Thank you very much, Eric. Appreciate
it.
Yeah, so if John Harbaugh is Baltimore Ravens head coach 2026, what do you think is going through Lamar's head?
I think he makes it clear. Like if he gets going this way, he makes it clear in the offseason. You need to fire him. All right, I'm holding all the cards. I don't need to hold you guys. I don't need to demand a trade or anything like that. I'll just not do anything with my deal. You can't trade me. You can't cut me. I'm going to account for, 75 mil or whatever it is against the cap. I will just sit here. If you want to say, hey, we're going to keep things the same, then let's keep things the same. I'm not changing my contract, and you do whatever you can do with what's left over, because you're going to give me a trash O-line anyway. You don't spend money on them anyway. Mm-hmm. So we'll just keep things the same. That's what you want, right? Like that's all he has to do, and collect his money.
Yeah. You're wrong about them not being able to trade him though. Carolina will do that deal.
No, isn't it? Doesn't he have a no trade clause, or is it no franchise clause?
He has a no franchise, and I believe it's no trade as well. But who would say no? Coming to Charlotte, they have live music now.
Oh,
it's the David Tepper.
But you have Bryce. No, you have Bryce.
Bryce. And as much as
no, you have Bryce.
As much as it would pain me to see Bryce go, he would thrive in Baltimore.
You're right. We should do a QB swap, because you did say Bryce would make the Super Bowl before Lamar. So come on over here.
That does not apply in that scenario. Only with Lamar in Baltimore.
All right. So what do you think would happen
if they? Honestly, what I think he should do is what he said: go into the office and say, "I'm not doing anything with my contract unless you do A, B, and C." What I think will happen is he'll restructure his deal, make a boatload more money, and just deal with it, like all the other quarterbacks do. Because when you restructure the contract, or if you sign a new extension, you're getting a ton more money.
Yes,
and listen, if they're not going to build you a team that can win you a Super Bowl, get the cash.
And listen. Both things could happen, right? Steve Bisciotti could get to offseason and say, hey, look, I can't go forward with you, man. Because other things are factoring in at that point. If we're looking this bad the rest of the season out, especially if he misses more games than we think he's going to miss, that's lost revenue. People aren't showing up to the stadiums. They're not buying any gear. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not spending money on the Ravens. They're not tuning in. It can get real bad, and that will get Steve Bisciotti's attention. And it will remind him of why he wanted to fire Harbaugh to begin with.
Especially if they get blown out this week, because then you're staring at 2 straight weeks of nothing but, you fire Harbaugh yet? You fire Harbaugh yet? You fire Harbaugh yet? You fire
2 more
Harbaugh yet?
weeks. We're talking about it now.
But
Yeah.
no, I'm saying like just two because there's not going to be a game to break that up. It's
Right.
just because they have a bye. It's going to be 2 straight weeks. Have you fire Harbaugh yet?
And do not let this week we get blown out and the Texans lose, and then the following week we're on the bye, the Rams lose. Don't let that happen.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. All right, we finished right. Hour and 35. All right, want to keep that a little tighter. We'll work on that.
Yeah,
but we had
50 minutes over this week.
We had a nice discussion there about trade scenarios and what the Ravens could do, even what the Panthers could do. I like where the conversation went. So all right, you guys want to keep this going? We'll keep it going on the Overtime Show. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is how you do that. What are you looking at?
Ivy Sand said he wants Stafford to break the QB touchdown record.
Damn,
come on, man.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Act like you like your team.
Right. I just want Harbaugh fired.
That's forever if that happens.
and he won't. So I'm not worried about that.
No, he'll be sitting long before that.
Yeah. And listen, Matt Stafford is really good, and he's got excellent wide receivers on his team. But this man had Megatron for years and did nothing with it. He's not that guy. All right. He's good. He's not that guy. All right. He's not going to break any records against this team. So, all right. That's it. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. Also, LBHTShow.com is where you can sign up for the newsletter. You can buy some merch. All right. And you can also check out videos. We have our videos linked on there as well. I mean, it'll take you right back to YouTube. But, one-stop shop. Go check it out. Sign up for the newsletter. We're trying to grow that. And that's it. You have anything before we got to go, B?
That is all.
All right. Patreon members, get ready. YouTube members, get ready. The Overtime Show starts in a few minutes. Everybody else, have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.